Hey YouTube, it's me. I've been talking about doing this damn video forever, so I'm looking like poop like always, but part of me I don't really give a crap, really. I don't have time. My life is like insano. I did talk about this book, Feeding Baby Solid Foods from 6 to 12 months of age. This is a Canadian book. And it talks about getting ready for meal times, learning healthy habits, a healthy feeding relationship, getting baby started, iron-rich foods, making healthy food choices for baby, textured foods for baby, trying new textures, finger foods. Then it talks about types of milk for baby, how many meals a day does baby need, what does a meal look like, do babies need fat, drinks for baby, foods to avoid, some cautions, and baby's teeth. It also talks about homemade baby food, recipes, store-bought baby food, label reading, eating out with baby, and then there's some food safety tips, which is be clean, separate foods, cook and reheat, chilling, and questions and answers on allergies. So there's quite a bit in here that they cover. A bit here, babies have small stomachs and need small, frequent meals and snacks. Begin by offering 1 to 2 teaspoons, which is 5 to 10 milliliters, of food and gradually give more as baby accepts it. So start slow, basically. Most babies start paying attention to what others are eating at around 6 months of age. This is an exciting time for both baby and you. If baby is 6 months old and reaching for your food, then baby is telling you that baby is ready to eat solid foods. Let baby guide you. So some people think giving solid foods to babies under 6 months of age helps the baby sleep through the night. This is not true. Giving solid foods to babies before 6 months can lead to overfeeding and low breast milk intake. And then it also says, do not wait too long after a baby is 6 months old to introduce solid foods. Babies who are not introduced to solid foods until later in the first year may have a difficult time learning to eat different textures and flavors of foods. Babies do not need to have teeth to eat solid food. And then it talks about introducing only one food at a time to baby, which I did kind of say in the last video. Wait at least 2 days before adding the next new food so that any allergy signs are easily noticed. As you introduce new foods, continue to offer foods that baby has already tried. Like if they like a certain thing, like maybe let's say sweet potatoes, then give them sweet potatoes. The next day, don't force new food on them all the time. Let them eat what they like. I mean, we like to eat what we like, right? Another little thing, every baby will like different foods and eat different amounts of food. So one of my subscribers is currently trying to feed their daughter some solids, and they're having a little bit of a hard time because they're only taking certain types of food, which is okay. I mean, if that's what they like, that's what they like. But don't be discouraged and keep trying to introduce new foods, like maybe twice a week or something. Try to introduce something new. These might be Canadian brands. This is just to show you what I feed my kids, because I don't make my own food. But this is the oat cereal I feed my children. This is just an add water one, so I just boil water and let it cool a bit and then just stir it in and ready to go. This is the oat one. There's also a rice cereal, and this is stage 1. So there's different stages, as most of you know. So that's like a beginner one, and he really likes that stuff. And sometimes I mix, if they don't like certain foods. That's another trick too. If they don't like stuff, I usually mix, like, say, a little bit of applesauce or peaches. Like Baron did not like peaches, so I just mixed like just a little bit, like maybe half a jar, a quarter of a jar. I can't really tell you what the measurement was. Just a little bit into the cereal and got it into him that way. Sometimes that's a good trick too, because I mean, all kids like pablum, right? So if you have to mix their foods with pablum, do it. Then they kind of get used to it. Just a slightly different taste and not like full on like ah. This is another one. This is a Heinz brand. This is a stage 2. It says from 6 months, but I mean that's when we start our kids feeding, so it doesn't make sense. But you just kind of go with your gut instinct and feeling. So they have ones where you add breast milk or formula, but I just find I don't pump, so I just find the water ones just a lot more convenient for me for traveling purposes. When I have to go to appointments, I can just put it in my Boon Spoon and go out the door kind of thing. I slowly introduce things. I usually start with the pablum, then I usually go into a vegetable, because if you feed them fruits right away, then they kind of get like a sweet tooth automatically, and then they're not going to want the vegetables as much. And another thing that you're supposed to give your baby like right away too, like when you're introducing stuff, when they get to like maybe say 4 vegetables and maybe a couple fruits and they've handled them well, they're not allergic, then you should really start to add some meat to their vegetable dishes. I'll show you what I use. See, Heinz pureed chicken with broth. This is like the nastiest texture like ever, and it says all white meat, triple tested, quality, safe, and nutrition. So, and it's strained puree. No added salt or modified starch. It's just chicken broth, and a little bit of spice. But not really any spice, because like it is gross. And the texture is so nasty, I don't know, like babies don't really like it, but you have to give them a little bit of protein. They need that. And then some other examples of fruits that I usually start out with are just like like a fruit on its own. So you can eliminate food allergies to that single fruit. Then when you've gone through like most of the fruits, the single fruits that are available or that you make or whatever, then you can start combining them. Like here's an example of maybe the next kind. It's banana and mandarin oranges. And for food, like I'm starting Baron, because he's gone through most of the vegetables, I'm starting him on like more like meals. This is vegetable and chicken. I don't know if you've heard of baby mums, but they're great for when they're teething, because they dissolve really quickly. They're actually better than baby cookies. Plus there's like virtually way less sugar. It's just rice, basically, rice paste. So it dissolves really easily. They have less chance of them choking. He did actually recently just have an allergic reaction. But I wasn't being very careful, because he's had so many different kinds of food already that I was like, he's probably fine like the girls. But he did have a bit of reaction to something. I gave him a combination fruit. It was apples and blueberries. Now I have to watch, like now I'm gonna have to introduce like blueberries on its own, because I'm thinking like blueberries is a pretty common thing to be allergic to, like strawberries, and so I'm gonna kind of watch that. I might have to start, going back to what he's already eaten and let him eat that before I kind of introduce new things again. Bowel movements. When any change is made to a baby's diet, bowel movements may change in firmness and number. These changes include changing from breast milk to infant formula or cow's milk, a supplemental feeding, changing brands of infant formula, starting pureed and or table foods. Usually this change does not last long, and a new bowel movement pattern soon develops. Baby's appetite will vary from day to day. Like sometimes they'll eat a lot one day and the next day they don't really want to eat a lot, which I have with my 2-year-old still. They talk about iron-rich foods, because of course iron's very important for your baby. Appropriate food texture. So baby's development stage, around 6 months, holds head up, sits with little help, opens mouth when food is offered, reaches out and is curious about food, is able to take food from a spoon, is able to move food to back of mouth with tongue. So during those sort of stages, appropriate food texture is strained, pureed, smooth, and mashed. So, I don't know if you can see that. And then closer to 7 months, can turn head away to refuse foods, begins chewing motion. So around 7-8 months, you should start introducing stuff that's more grated, minced, lumpy, diced, and cut up. Well, I'd say cut up isn't till about like 9-10 months. When you get closer to a year, it's like soft foods, finely chopped, Foods that soften or dissolve in the mouth. Examples are dry toasted oat cereal like Cheerios and unsalted whole wheat crackers. So yeah. There's like a lot of information in this book, so I'm not going to read it all. So, morning meal. They have, looks like cereal, peaches, banana, like just little teeny servings. For a midday meal, they have a couple pieces of bread, like little teeny slices, a little bit of vegetables, and some more banana. For a snack, they have some cheese, Cheerios, and a small cup of water, because you can actually give your baby water. It's better than giving them juice. And an evening meal is quarter cup of pasta, carrots, and chicken. So that's for like a 9-month-old. How many meals does a baby need? So around between 6 to 8 months, offer 1 to 3 meals per day. I mean, offer 1, work up to 2, then work up to 3, slowly offering more and more variety. Like, for instance, I give Baron cereal in the morning, around lunchtime he has some fruit, and around our dinner time he has like a vegetable with some meat, or like one of these new ones that I was showing you earlier, which is vegetable and meat together. I actually give him cereal at night too, before he goes to bed, before I offer him breast milk. Because I find it does help him sleep better, longer. I get a better night's sleep, and I've done that with all my children. Some babies, I mean, it's not like he eats a lot. He eats about, like for a meal, this is a 4.5 ounce or 128 ml jar. He eats about half of that, like at a meal time. So this, he'll eat this for like 2 days in a row, and then it's gone, because you can only keep jarred food once you open it for a max of 3 days. So I usually try to get rid of it within 2 days. And if he doesn't eat it, then it goes in the garbage, because I don't risk that, obviously. At 9 to 11 months, offer 2 to 3 meals and 1 to 2 snacks per day between meals. So obviously Baron isn't getting a snack. I mean, maybe the cracker was being fussy, or just to tide him over while I'm preparing like meals for the girls or something. I just kind of shove something at him so he's quiet and, you know, keep him happy. And he's a pretty happy baby. So the following foods are not healthy choices for a baby, which some of them are pretty obvious. French fries, candy, chocolate, or marshmallows. Marshmallows are hard to chew and they do not dissolve. So pop and freezies, slushy type drinks. Obviously you don't want to give that to your baby. Yeah, let's just hop them up on sugar. Ice cream, sweet dessert, sweetened gelatin, pickles and olives, because again they don't dissolve and they're pretty salty. Processed meats like hot dogs, wieners, bologna, and salami. Like, that's kind of obvious, but I mean, all kids like hot dogs, so I do give my children hot dogs when they're about probably about 18 months, like a year and a half, closer to 2. They usually get like a little bit of hot dogs or something for lunch, but this is like, I'm talking like once a month maybe. Other foods that aren't great are snack foods such as chips, cheese, popcorn puffs. They're talking about cheese puffs or popcorn puffs. No sugar-coated cereals. Not good for their teeth, and high sugar levels. Obviously, dry or canned soups and canned pasta. Probably because of the salt content. Gravy, butter, margarine, and salad dressing. Probably because of the salt content. So, I mean, they're kind of obvious. I mean, you just kind of feed them kind of bland food at first, obviously. Babies do not need added sodium, which is salt, and sugar, obviously. And I'll keep saying that, obviously. Then it talks about babies' teeth. So obviously you should be wiping with a cloth when they don't have teeth, and when they do get teeth, move on to like the little nubby rubber thing to get them used to something touching their mouth. stuff that's a little bit more textured, I guess is the word I'm looking for. So if you have any more questions about feeding solids or specific questions you want to ask me, and if I didn't answer all the stuff you wanted to know, let me know. Hopefully I give a few tips, but this video is super long and I'm cutting it off and editing. So I will talk to you later. Bye.